Hello.
Hello, hello.
How is it over there, Edward?
It's good.
Good.
I can make it for once.
Yeah, it's exciting. Hopefully some other people make it too.
So what's up in Japan?
Getting cold, I will say that.
Yeah. It's not very warm here either. It freezes every night. Even
yeah, that's true. Yeah. Getting to be that season.
Put on my headphones to avoid echo.
Yeah, they sound quite a bit better on these kind of calls.
Hey, and while it's only the two of us, look at this. Let's see.
Oh, we have a neck too.
Look at this.
That's cool. Is that the Apple Watch?
It is an Android watch.
An Android watch, right?
And if my camera is able to focus, yep. It is connected to my app.
That's awesome.
And Android makes it pretty nice. It's basically you write an Android Wear app, and you package it into the app on your phone. And if your phone detects an Android watch, it just sends the package to the watch, and it becomes an extension of your app.
Well, that's handy, so you don't have to like actually go download anything on the phone. Like so long as or on the watch, so long as it's paired, it'll just go in. That's kind of cool.
Exactly. And there's like an Android, an Android services connector that makes it possible to connect your phone and your watch super easily, and there's a message passing kind of thing. So it's really nice.
Nice.
So it's looking at this for radiation workers. Basically, you set up the alarm level on your phone, and then your watch can beep or vibrate if you go above a certain limit. Hey, Joe.
Gotcha. Howdy, Joe.
Good morning.
How are you?
Okay, can't stick around for long. I'm supposed to go to a workshop at the American School in Japan.
Oh, that's all right.
Okay.
Actually, I was just getting ready to leave, and I thought, oh, but I guess you should at least check in and see what's going on.
Yeah, well, we're still in that usual 5 to 10, try to circle the wagons period. I'm kind of hoping that Will and Evadne will be joining us in a little bit here so we can talk about some of the error data stuff.
Good.
That was like my main goal to talk about that.
Any chance we can look at the this API key retrieval at some point as well?
I'm not familiar with the issue.
So the issue is that we would need a REST, an API call to retrieve the API key on the so after you log in.
Mm-hmm.
Typically for the mobile apps, to make it easier for people to just get their API key. At the moment, so Mark has implemented this kind of hack where he kind of extracts the API key from the raw HTML. And on my app, what I do is that I copy. I mean, I ask people to just type their API key into the app, so that they can
so you can just copy paste.
So you can copy paste in your on your phone. It works fine, but ideally, we would need an API endpoint where you just log in with your username and password, and you get the API key back, and that's it.
Should be pretty simple.
Yeah. Yep. I think it just needs to be done. Yeah.
What should the auth be like? Like, what should it just be basic auth, or do the apps normally support cookies, or like,
So the apps don't. I mean, you can't really assume the app supports cookies. It should be the same as the same security as the login on api.safecast.org.
That uses cookies though. That's what I was asking. So like that,
Okay.
yeah, that login uses, it's like a standard Rails setup where it uses an encrypted browser cookie. So like when you log in, I'll just do it once.
Which is the whole point of having an API key later on. But
is there any information that might also be at that endpoint, something else with the user's profile? Of course, it'd be in a form that'd be easier to extract the API key out of.
Mm-hmm. Well,
yeah, I mean, it's easy enough to serve it up.
I don't know.
The thing I'm mainly curious about is just what sort of authentication should be on it. Because basically if you go and you sign in right now, what it'll do is give you back a Safecast session cookie, which is like a signed cookie that if you're going to make another authenticator request, you have to be able to send that cookie back. And if that's something that your app can handle, then what I can actually just do is just make a really basic JSON page that just returns it so long as you handed that cookie. But the question is it reasonable for you to hand back that cookie or not?
I guess
or should we do basic auth just on that endpoint or something like that?
I guess cookie is fine. I mean,
I would say the thing to try for starters is see if you can at least did you say someone is scraping HTML? So can you at least get the HTML version?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay, so that works. So then the cookies work then. Okay,
yes,
in that case it is easy.
Yeah.
All right. That should be pretty straightforward. Let me put in a ticket for that.
Let's see, how do I get my user ID here?
Well, I mean, it's up in the top right, usually, of the page.
About my user as in...
it should be like your email address. But.
I don't remember seeing it. I mean, it winds up being in the page address, but it's not on the page anywhere, is it?
Yep. No, it is not.
I don't know. Mine is really easy. It's like 3.
Yeah, mine is 573, but it's kind of
oh, you mean
your
numerical user ID, like in the okay.
Yes, because there is an API endpoint for users, so I can view my user /573, and I can get it in JSON. Okay, so I can actually get my user ID, so like api.safecast.org /user/573.json. Then this one gives me my authentication token.
Yeah, probably would.
But then there's no easy way to get 573.json with my user ID being 573.
Yeah, so I think we need I wrote the ticket as provide API key via cookie auth to API. So the idea, I was thinking it would be something like, because you can probably do /user/1, but we should probably also be able to do like /user/current or something like that, like a way to, maybe just /current user. So that way we look at the cookie and then give you back the user that is encoded in the cookie.
Exactly, that would be perfect.
Yeah, that would be the thing to do. Yeah, I think we should be able to support that pretty easily. I'll put /users/current.json as like a possible endpoint for that.
Excellent.
Any progress on the BLE version issue? Well, I've got it here.
So which one? Which BLE version issue? So
well, the BLE 2.0.0 doesn't work for reasons that Peter and Rob were investigating. But I don't know if there's any more detail about what's going on with that.
So basically, the firmware has got limitations on the BLE 2.0.0. It strips CRRs and LFs at the end of the file. So it looks like the BLE 2.0.0 is not neutral. It tends to modify the serial stream. So there are workarounds that are implemented in the iOS version. What I'm looking at right now is just a way to upgrade the firmware version from my app directly.
Ah, I see. So you could upgrade the BLE yourself.
Exactly.
That would be best.
That's the best way to do it, rather than like do workarounds for an old firmware version. If we give people an easy way to upgrade. Then
How
we have
about
something
the
else to do.
BLE 100? 100, does that have OTA capability? Because I think it doesn't.
So strangely enough, I think 100 works perfectly well because it's got the exact same Bluetooth API that as 201.
I
So basically,
thought we had to have 101 or 201. That 100 and 200 don't work.
okay, I thought 100 was fine, and I'm not aware of a 101. So 100
Okay,
and
I
201.
wasn't aware that 100 was that many out there, but that could be old enough that it's probably not an issue because there probably aren't very many, and nobody who buys one is going to get a 100.
Yep, exactly.
But I think a lot of 200s were shipped out to suppliers, so people, buying them in shops and places are going to have a high probability of getting a 200.
Yeah, correct. And there is an iPhone app like this BLE Explorer, but I think it's not a free app. So understandably, people will be reluctant to do anything. I mean, to change the to buy the app to upgrade their firmware. Like they just paid like $40 or $50 for a dongle. If they have to pony up $10 more dollars to upgrade, that's kind of rough. So that's why I'm.
What about what's the possibility of you doing the firmware upgrade? Can you do that from the phone end?
Yes, I know that it's possible. It's a matter of that limitation of only having 24 hours in the day to work. And yeah, so yeah, but I mean the protocol is public, is well documented, and.
Is there a library out there that you can just grab?
No, there's none.
Oh.
Problem. But I'm gonna take a hard look at it and see whether it's really a big thing to do or if it's easy.
I wasn't even aware of an app that could do that. I thought we had to probe it with hardware to update the firmware.
No,
so if it can be done,
it's really a 5-second. It's a 5-second process on the iOS app.
To update the firmware?
Yep. Yeah, it's super easy.
Okay, so we could then, if the iOS app, if it's chargeable, we could offer people, say in Japan, if they come by the office, we'll upgrade it for them because we'll just connect to it with one of our devices that where we've paid for the app and just do it.
Yep. Oh yeah, absolutely. So no.
We could even have an exchange program if people mailed us their BLE, we'd send them out an updated one.
Yep. That could be a nice way. Yeah.
Okay, I gave mine to Eve when I left Taipei last week, so I don't actually currently have one, so I can't test anything on that.
Okay, so the latest version, Joe, should reconnect automatically. Basically, it doesn't disconnect anymore. I mean, I'm getting more familiar.
Yeah, I've got the new version of the app, but I don't have a BLE module. I'll get one today.
Okay, cool.
So let's see. So I'm hoping Will said about 10 minutes ago that he'll be with us in 5 minutes. So
201. Yeah, exactly. So 201 is a backport of the 10 and firmware for BLEB 200. Okay. Oh, that's no. Okay, that's my son. Can say hi.
hello.
Oh, nice. Thank you. That's the neighbor.
Yeah, it's the neighbor.
All right, so neighbor bringing us
Awesome.
fruits and stuff like that. Nice.
I love when neighbors bring food.
Yeah. That's the cool thing about California. Plenty of fruits and stuff like that.
Hey, Will.
Yeah, oranges. Hey.
Hi.
How's it going, William?
Pretty good. How are you guys?
Good. We were just talking about you. So I think the main thing that I have on my personal agenda that I wanted to make sure you could join us for was updating the logging format of the Air devices. Have you seen? Actually, I'll just put the link in the channel to the config file format that we're working with so far. I just put it in the group chat in the Hangout here. So what we're hoping is that you can set up the Air firmware such that it takes in a config file that looks something like that, and then produces. Let me see if I can actually. Let me grab the link for what the test file looks like. So that way, when it produces data, it'll produce data with the IDs that we've kind of provisioned it with. So that way you can just slip it right up in our database.
So I think I've already done part B, which is the not read the config file, but change the output format.
Okay.
If it was if it's the same format that you posted on the Safecast Air channel, where you have the the IDs for like for each gas sensor, there's an IDs sort of property. Yeah, that I've done. So that's been pushed up to the repository. I haven't done.
How, are you storing the IDs just in like a flat file somewhere or something? Or?
Yeah. Right now, I'm not reading them from a file. They're just in a. I'm just sort of hard coding them in a constants file initially until I write the code that actually reads them from the SD card. So
gotcha.
I just put the data structures in so that the IDs are stored and I can write them when I write the data at this point.
Fantastic. Yeah, and then here's a link to a one-line test log file that the app is set up to import, which shouldn't match. It's all one line, so
not pre-printed.
Yeah, probably want to run it through an indenter or something like that. But this would be just one line out of like a log file, and then it has those IDs, which it sounds like maybe you've already done at this point. So that's great. The thing that I was thinking is if you can set up the config file doesn't necessarily have to have this exact format. Like if there's something that would work better for you, let me know. But what I was imagining is we could basically have a page in the app where we like provision the device. So you click provision new Air device. What it does is it goes out and sets up the data model for the device in question, and then lets you download a file that looks like this, so that you can just drop this onto the SD card, and then the firmware can pick it up from there.
Right. Yeah.
Cool. So that's cool that Part B is done. So yeah, I think if we can get Part A in place, that'll probably get us. It'll definitely get us that much closer to being able to ingest Air data. Not necessarily doing anything too exciting with it yet, but at least we'll be able to start getting it into the database and feeding it back out. So.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be too
doable.
bad to do Part A. I think it's just a matter of reading the data in and then just parsing the JSON.
Cool. Fantastic. Then that was pretty much it. Thanks for making that easy.
Okay, I made a few other changes to the data, but these were suggestions that you guys made. So one had to do with the format of the lat longitude.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Doing decimal degrees, so that's been changed to decimal degrees.
Oh, good.
And then the other thing I've changed is the format of the altitude and the speed. Mm-hmm. So altitude is now meters, and speed is now meters per second.
Okay.
Which again was a suggestion, and so I put all these up as issues on the GitHub page. Mm-hmm. So, and some of them have been closed, and some haven't. So.
Cool, fantastic. This is on the Safecast Air firmware GitHub.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool.
And at the top of each file, is there a format version so that if we come across old files or different firmwares, we'll know how to decode these things? Nobody will confuse meters for feet. Huh?
Do we have that? I can't remember.
I don't think we do right now. I think we should add it before we make any more changes.
Okay. Add.
Yeah. There should be a comment at the top of every file that says what the format is.
Okay. Format version.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not critical now because we don't have many out there. But every time these changes happen, we have to. It could really cause interesting things if you're suddenly looking at decimal degrees versus decimal minutes or meters versus feet.
Yeah, it should be clear. Yeah.
Spacecraft crash into planets for things like this.
Yeah, I think we're ready for version numbers on this stuff. We've been making enough little changes here and there. So
Yeah.
I'm happy to take it. It can either be a comment or embedded in the JSON line. Either way is fine on my end. So
yeah, the earliest
whatever's
bguggy
simpler
log
for you
files, or not the earliest, when some of the earlier bguggy log files, we actually had like 3 comment lines. The first one was a version. The second was a list of labels. So it was actually the labels for each of the fields, which was really handy. In fact, that's still what I do when I can't remember what the format is. I go find one of those older files and open it up and read those comments, because they give the listing of what each of the fields are.
Cool. Yeah, we have, since the error is logging in JSON, we already have the nice keys and things like that hopefully give you some information. But
I'm just thinking, when you don't have the access to the API, you don't have anything. All you have is a log file, and you're trying to hack at it for some other purpose. Having a one-line comment at the top of the file that just at least gives you some hints as to what the fields are, it was very useful.
Oh yeah, for sure. In terms of what the fields are, though, because like if you click on the error 0 simple log, you might see, because the bguggy logs are basically like CSV, so you don't necessarily know what the fields are. The error logs are JSON, right. So you actually do. It's not just a number. It actually says like lat : blah, lon : blah.
Okay, I didn't realize that they weren't CSVs.
Yep. Yeah, so they're JSON. They're a little bit more heavyweight because of that. But I think certainly the last time we met, the idea was sort of like, let's not worry about space right now. Like let's try to have like a good format that's flexible. We'll worry about space.
bguggys have tiny memories, and they still can hold like 2 years of 24-hour data.
Yeah, right. So yeah, the error logs are definitely quite a bit more verbose than the bguggy logs, but I think it'll be to the benefit of the fact that like every single line potentially could have the version annotated right in the line.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, should make it pretty.
That makes it much more portable. Yeah, that has a lot of advantages. The only disadvantage is storage space, and that's not a big cost issue. So might as well make it very portable. That way, even if you get a fragment of a file, you can sort of make some sense of it.
Exactly. Yeah. Each line can stand on its own given this format. So.
Good.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be good to add a version number in there, so that way we can start switching, especially if we're changing units and things like that.
Okay.
Cool.
Actually, I had one more question when I was doing this. What size int should I be using for the IDs? Do you have any preference? I mean, I don't know how many we're planning on, but should I be using longs, or do you have a?
That's a good question.
A 64-bit int or a 32-bit int?
Yeah, I would guess a 64-bit int probably. When you write it out to the JSON, obviously it's going to be truncated anyway. So. But I think the question is, because ultimately those translate to Postgres IDs, so the thing I'd like to check right quick is what type of... oh, thanks, Nick. I had a feeling you might know that. So Nick says they are int32 in the database. So.
Int32. Oh, so there's no point.
I was going to say int32 sounds plenty.
Yeah. Thanks, Nick. Save me the trouble of having to log into the server and find out. Yeah, so the int32 should be fine because the database ultimately isn't going to be able to store anything bigger than that anyway. Okay. Cool. That was most of what I had for error. Did anyone else want to cover anything while Will is here? One thing that just crossed my mind, I'm going to set up a waffle for the Safecast error GitHub issues if no one's particularly opposed to that. Just so that I can keep tabs on what's on that repo a little bit closer. I'll throw the link in the channel. Maybe I'll even do one kind of master waffle that tracks both.
Sorry, gotta step out for a minute.
Sounds good. And Joe, so you said you talked to Avadni recently? Do you know?
Yeah, I was in Taipei for the last 2 weeks and just got back a couple days ago, and she was there too, so we met up.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I think the main thing I'm curious.
And she said she'll be back in Japan too. In December, I'm going to see her in December, probably also either here in Tokyo or in Hong Kong.
Oh, cool. So she's definitely got a lot of issues in
Unfortunately,
play right now. So.
Yeah, unfortunately, she's been really busy with her day job. So, and apparently, it's something that she's free at 1 minute, and then an hour later, she's like at some kind of a crisis. So I'm not sure what's going on. But that happens.
Yeah, I'm in kind of a time crunch myself last month and this month, just because the kids have so much time off. So hopefully next month I'll have a little bit more breathing room. Cool. So that might be it then. I think. So I did. Here's, well, in case you're curious, here's the waffle link that I set up for Safecast Air, and then I think what I'll do is I'll make a master one just for Safecast Global, so that way we can keep an eye on issues in flight across the GitHub repos.
Okay.
Cool. Then that might be it. Anyone want to cover anything else before we finish up?
Good. Nothing special.
All right. Well, then let's take it back to the channel and give you back a half hour.
Okay.
Thanks for joining, folks. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, you guys.
Bye-bye.
Good to see you. Bye-bye.